Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Julia.
I'm so happy that we get to have this conversation today.
Thank you. So am I.
So, you're this multidimensional woman. You're a coach, you're a healer, a hypnotherapist, a mentor. But can you tell me and our audience a bit more about yourself?
Okay, so a bit more about myself. Um, so if I would share from the human side, I'm a 53-year-old woman who's married with an amazing person, whom I receive a lot of love. And we have two beautiful children, adult children, which are at the age of 25 and 21. Now, in this incarnation, I feel that I'm here on a mission to help people awaken to the fact that we are living a life where we are called to shift from this false perception of scarcity, limitation, and lack, and of separation, and go back to we are one with the power that's breathing us, as I love to call it. So you can also call that spirit, life force, the universe, God. So this is what I have been experiencing, and I reached here after a journey of working in the field for many years, until the point where I think I had what we call a moment of awakening. I don't know if you felt that in
Yeah.
your journey. So my first job was I was a salesperson for a very small time in the teenage years. I was working in the college that I finished. I finished the American College of Greece as a marketeer and a public relations person, supposedly. And then again, when I finished college, I worked in the college for 2 years in the alumni office, again, servicing and serving the alumni of the college. And then from there, my dream then was to become a banker. But again, in that field, I was serving and servicing clients. And then from there, although I had my next wake up call, awakening moment at the end of 2012, for some reason, the field pulled me back in, the matrix pulled me back in. And although I was in my 40s then, I was like opening a bit of the door of my own growth. I got sucked back in and I started working as a PA for two amazing people. And I was their personal assistant, two siblings who used to be my clients at the bank. And again, for 13 years, I was serving them. So at some point, I realized that, oh my God, this is what I do. And even in my teenage years, I remember I was the go-to person, when we have our girlfriends. So we were a group of young ladies who everybody wanted to come back to me. And now as I'm looking back sometimes when I'm alone and, I'm somewhere where I can go within and think and feel and sense and see how my life is evolving, I'm like, okay, finally now I'm serving clients and people who come into my life. So
What I also heard is like this return to self. and to source and to spirit, just like you said.
Mhm.
And when you talked about your different moments, of, let's call them awakening or the matrix calling you back in, what I also, so like the term I use for myself is you had the freedom gate, and
Mhm.
you didn't take it entirely maybe at that moment, but I know that you still did a lot of things.
Yeah,
Like you trained, actually, you trained for this
exactly.
what you learned all those years.
Okay, yeah. That is so true. This journey of becoming, this journey of stepping into that portal, that door of awakening, began when I entered this last job of being a personal assistant to these two executives. And this was 13 years ago. So as I entered that job, maybe it was because I was ripe, I was ready. It was time for me to start this whole journey of growth and development and evolution. And it started, I'm going to share a very small story. It started in the most amazing way. Back then, we had to move from the southern parts of Athens to the northern parts of Athens with my husband. I was still in the bank now that I recall. So it's a little before I leave the bank. And I have to enroll to a gym to where we are. Okay. Still, the journey hasn't begun, but I enrolled to the gym and I'm in this gym. It's a women's gym. I'm there for a couple of years. And I'm asking this woman who has the gym, how I see you changing all the time. Her name was Vula, totally Greek name. What is going on with you? And she was like, okay, we're gonna have a meeting. I've invited many ladies who come, clients of hers, customers of the gym, on Sunday, and you're gonna get to meet my teacher. I said, your teacher? What do you mean? She said, come, and you'll see. And that was the first time ever I heard the word know thyself. I knew it from the Greek
Yeah.
history, all right? But being on a journey to learning about yourself and that the work is all from inward. And it was a man teacher, and he actually became my first teacher, Greek teacher. And that was literally, it was a portal. I stepped in, and I'll use the word magic started happening in a very, very small chunks, of course, because I was a baby then, a baby to all this, to all this. And from there, uh, when the time came and I felt that the circle, the cycle of the bank I was, Citibank in Greece, came to completion. I exited without having a job, without knowing what's coming, but I felt inside of me, this has come to completion. I have to exit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think then everybody, it was the best Christmas of my life, by the way, because I was free. I was like, I freed myself from a container which I loved. I loved being a banker. I loved serving clients. I had reached the part where I had become assistant branch manager, and my dream was to become a branch manager. But then I suddenly realized, no, this is no longer my dream. I want out without knowing what that meant. And I remember I exited not knowing what's going to happen. And then 4 months later, this client of my, no, the client, he was a client from the bank, called me and said, do you want a job? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I going to do for you? I'm a banker. He said, no, 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 come, we'll figure it out. And again, I said, I was in between. I had a pull because I wanted to start investigating more on the path that I was with that Greek teacher. But of course, my husband, my parents, my friends was like, you have to make money. How are you going to have a living? No, 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 and that sucked me back, and I said, okay, I'll start working with them. But on that journey up, I had time, or time was created in my favor. And then another portal opened up, which is, and I started following the signs. I worked with that first teacher, Anastasis Diamadopoulos, for 2 years. And then at the end of the 2 years, I was like, no, I want more. And he said, I teached you, Kathy. You asked the universe for your next teacher. And I was like, because I was still very, very petite, very small, very like a baby and all this. I was like, what is he talking about? I had learned, but I didn't believe yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I asked, and then the most amazing thing happened. And my next teacher came in from another little circumstance that came up. That
I
what
think
happened?
it's all these little miracles, that make up a journey. It's not like some big bang.
Yes, you're right, Julia. Yes, so thank you. So I wasn't active in all this. It was on my husband's to-do list. Okay. So that one day, that one time, he calls me up. He says, the money's on the counter. Please go do this because it's the year end of the school and we have to pay off the school. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So I enter the school. Of course, I know the owner, I know the secretary, I know them. And as I'm over her desk, she's sitting, she's this beautiful, beautiful woman, inside out, very beautiful woman. And she says, I need to ask you something. You look so different lately. And my mind automatically goes back to the moment where I asked my fitness coach teacher in the gym 2 years ago the same question. And I go like Vula had done then, and I say, I'm taking a know thyself uh, courses. I have a mentor. And she's like, really? The difference here was she knew about this because she had also embarked on her own journey. And I'm like, and she takes a little, those little square papers, the white ones that we usually have on our desk. She takes it and she writes down a name. She gives it to me. She gives it to me and she says, when you're ready for your next move, I'm getting so emotional because this happened at the same time when I finished the 2 years with the first teacher. It was like I finished. I'm also, I have shivers too. I finished with Anastasis end of May, and end of June was when I visited the school of that year. So I folded the little paper, I put it in my wallet, I put it away. Summer was there. We had to do vacation plans, la la la. And then when September came, I was like, oh, I need a teacher. What am I going to do? What is it to do? And the voice said, as I love to call it, dropped in and said, you have the answer in your wallet. So I actually took out the paper, Googled him, and that was my next teacher for 8 years. Greek teacher again.
Wow.
Yes, 8 years. 6 years we were together. He had a 6-year program, an amazing program, has helped a lot of Greek people. I'm so grateful to him. He's Bob Najami. He's in his 80s now. But that put in order all the things I had learned from the previous teacher, which was, for me, it felt like a dump in the 2 first years, a lot of information not in order. So with Bob, everything got in order, and it was again in a group container. And in this container, we were like about 12 women usually each year. And this interaction about not only me having these things, these situations, these conditions, these challenges in my life, but she has this and that, she has that, and she has it, helped us all to evolve and start seeing life slowly this time in another way. Because from the first teacher, I heard about how I'm supposed to see life, but I wasn't able to get there. And with Bob, I also did a one-on-one, a 3-year course of becoming a life coach because I got so mesmerized and I was like, oh my God, I'm changing. This is happening to me.
And people see it.
And people see it, and I want to bring it forth. And then this whole journey finished. And my next, because this is how the universe works for those of us and for the listeners who know, uh, when we're ready, the next teacher comes in, as I know you know also, Julia.
Yes.
And I didn't want to, I sat with myself the whole summer after that time period, and I said, I don't want to work. And to be honest, the last year with Bob was the first year that I introduced myself to an English speaking teacher. I'm Greek Canadian. I was born in Canada from Greek parents. It's my native language. I love it. I am fluent in both languages, but my heart language is English. So I wanted to receive all this information now from another form, if I could say. And it was by then year 2020, we're in COVID and a lot of time at home. And suddenly, like magic, in my inbox and in when I'm Googling, this blonde, tall, skinny lady with hair until here, Marissa Peer keeps showing up, showing up, showing up. And she's talking about hypnotism, and I'm like, I don't believe in this shit. No, 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 no. And she's talking about hypnotherapy, where hypnotherapy is hypno and therapy was something I already was on, and I was like, okay, hypnotism doesn't echo in me, but hypnotherapy, uh and I wanted to learn more from her, so I took a 3-month pre-recorded session, and then that led to another one, and then I finally felt the pull that I want to learn this.
I think, with hypnotherapy, there's this big challenge that they have, honestly, because people confuse things all the time. Like myself, before trying this out, I was so scared. I was like, oh, what is this? Someone will control me and so on.
Yes,
So, yeah, it's something completely different. So,
something completely different.
for
You're right.
anyone who hears this, Kathy is amazing at it. You can try it. It's safe.
It's safe. Whoever does hypnotherapy, it's safe because it has to do with calming down the nervous system. And whoever is a hypnotherapist, his job is to talk with one's subconscious mind, because that's where everything lays. That's
Yeah.
where everything is kept. That's where everything is hidden. Because now the two of us, we're interacting right now with the 5% of our mind, whereas the subconscious is within, and it has hold of the 95%. So Marissa was in my life for 1.5 year, half a year with those pre-recorded, and then 1 year I studied with her. It was an amazing experience. She blew our mind. I learned all about mindset and mindfulness and the rules of the mind with her, as she calls them. And that took me to another level. And then again, when that finished, in my inbox is another blonde lady, but this time she's short hair, skinny like Marissa, and her name was Mary Morrissey. And I'm like by then I knew how the universe worked. I was like, I wasn't surprised. I was amazed, like, oh yes, this time I don't need to even ask. And she just came, she arrived. And I entered her first program. It was a 3-month program, and the investment was manageable. And of course, at the end of 3 months, as all for me, good teachers, coaches, mentors, our job is to invite people in to work with us for them to evolve and transform. So if we're a match, that's perfectly fine. If we're not, we part as friends, and I welcome them. I invite them to find their next teacher. It doesn't need to be me.
Yeah.
So I was, I'll say, blown away by Mary, because she brought into my field a more deeper level of transformation. And because trans means going beyond, formation is the form of your life. So when she first said this, because it's her words, and I've heard it from other teachers from her world, she's in the States, by the way, whereas Marissa was in the UK. So I said, okay, I want to work with this woman. I want to learn all about transformation. I worked with her for 3 years, and her school is the Brave Thinking Institute. I felt so much in my power after that, and I became an associate of the school. I teach this program, and after that,
We had about the difference, between integration and embodiment. And
yeah,
I think this is an amazing example of that because, your journey like illustrates this perfectly. You start by having knowledge, information, like the mind gets to switch some neurons, make new
yes,
connections, and so on. And then
absolutely,
as you evolve, you integrate more and more, you integrate it in your body, and then you transform everything, you
yes.
embody it.
Yes, Julia, you're so right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's absolutely true. And this is part of our journey. I remember I want to give a little point now for the listeners who may be on this journey. Early on, when I finished with Bob, I was like, I'm ready. 8 years. Like, okay, I can do this. But I couldn't. Like, I had learned so much, but I hadn't embodied them. They hadn't become one with me. And then through the next teachers, maybe because of their style, maybe because I was ready, maybe because it was time, I started embodying the work that it had become one with me,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in me. So, so Mary, one more thing I did with Mary was uh, I was in the Brave Thinking Masters for 3 years, and the last year I was in her program of becoming a transformational coach. She calls it a dream builder coach. I love to call it a conscious creation coach because Dream Builder is the name of her program, and I wanted to bring it on into my terms. So this exists. It has to do with manifestation. For me, it's manifestation is a bit different from conscious creation, but they both align on the same pathway. So and then what happened was, because Mary introduced me, Bob had also introduced me, but I was more ripe for it, is the word that's coming to me, to the universal laws and to the spiritual truths. And then another portal opened that was beyond transformation, beyond, because in coaching, there's some rules that we follow, that we work life through. But when you bring into the picture spirit, universe, God, that's a different story. So that portal opened with that teacher. And when I finished the 3 years, well, the years could have continued, but what happened was in September 2023, a woman that we both love and admire so much entered my field, and that's Somaya Amar. So I again have shivers and becoming emotional because literally the field planted her in front of me. At that time in 2023, I was not working yet, but I was following another amazing lady in the field who is Melanie Ann Lair. So she had then the channel, she had created the channel, which she was holding interviews with beautiful women around the world. And I wasn't following or looking in all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had it on my mind that Melanie is doing this. She has a channel, it's running now. And whenever I had time, I would Google and see who's the latest lady she took an interview from. And I remember it. I remember it's a Friday evening, Julia. Not evening, it's late. It's like 11 a.m. And I'm Googling to see. I wasn't so much in Melanie's world. So I was like on my computer trying to find, and the interview pops up and she's with Homaya.
Maya.
And it's a 1.5 hour interview. I'm looking at the screen, and this woman, it's like I'm feeling drawn to her from her
Yeah.
hair, from her aura, from what she's saying, from everything. And it's like it was like 1:30 a.m. and I re-listened to the whole thing for a second time the same night. Like I was 3 hours taking this in, and I'm like, oh my God. And things were different in my life then. I still was in this morning job that I used to call with these two executives. I was still a PA, and it was, Homaya came into my field around the time where I started feeling that I have to leave the morning job, that I have to give myself 100% to this thing that I feel that it's my mission.
It was time.
It was time. So I bought a pre-recorded class with Homaya, her sovereignty package, which is amazing. Look it up, you people. It's gonna blow your mind. It has 4 master classes in there, which is one of her biggest gems, I could say. If you don't know her, it's a beautiful way to get to feel her. And so I had that, and although I bought it, around those days that I saw the interview, I didn't listen to it because I was still in Mary's world, remember? So I had all the live, la 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 la, and the year switches, 2024 enters. So I'm working with Mary in 2024, I bought a program of Melanie and Lair in that year, and I'm following Homaya, and then Homaya gives this course that changes my life. And it was the first paid course I bought from her, which was called Supreme Destiny.
Oh, right.
You know,
Amazing. Yeah.
like I was at the point where I felt that my soul contract, because this is what this course is about, is calling me, and I needed to learn more about how I'm going to step into it, what I'm going to do. And then Homaya combines soul contract with supreme destiny, which is the destiny we're meant to bring to life in this life that we're blessed here with. So I opened the School of Transformation here in Greece. I named it Transforming My Life because this is my journey. This is what I'm doing. As I am transforming my life, I'm calling in people to work with me, to come walk with me, and for us to do it together for their life too, because this is a never ending journey. I finally realized that till the moment we depart, we transition, we close our eyes, and the body no longer is, and the soul goes back to source. We keep learning, we keep evolving, we keep creating, we keep the artistry of life. We keep on.
Yeah.
So and after Supreme Destiny, I was so thrilled. I was like, oh my God. And that was a year that Homaya decided to do that something that she calls the golden event. And I'm going. I have to get to know this woman. And I was also blessed because this is also a true blessing. And again, I have shivers because I gave it to myself for the other 2 teachers too. Like when I finished with Marissa in 2022 and I got certified in RTT, she gave an event, a live event in Amsterdam. And I said, I'm going, I want to meet her. So I got to meet Marissa and be in her presence. And then with Mary in 2024, she gave a live event and I said, I'm going to do it. And now, as I recall, it was 2024 was an amazing year because in the same year I got to meet in person two of my teachers.
I think proximity will come back.
Yes.
And I think it's so important because you know, the way you feel with other people is so different, and the connections that you get to create are
Yes.
so, I can almost say, unbreakable, you know? I think if we, like, even for the two of us, we met online in the beginning,
Yes.
but when we met live, something clicked.
Exactly. The bond became solid. I know what you mean. I feel it. I felt it with a lot of women in our community, in the light leaders community. Yeah.
Because we talked about your transformation, and I love this image that Homaya taught us about, you know, I think for me it doesn't matter what kind of healer or trainer or coach, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. You have the same structure in place, which is one is the space holder, and the other one is like the healer, the one that creates the intimacy, the yeah, this beautiful mix, and you do it so perfectly. Like, can you tell me what's your secret? Because
Um,
it's a level of embodiment. So this is why I'm so curious.
um, what happens is when I enter a space, in order for someone to come in, for me, that's a holy matrimony. Like beforehand, I feel so honored, but also so blessed. And there's not only a communication and an exchange. I enter from the center of my heart. I leave my mind out. I come in as a blank slate. Because if I allow my mind to come in, ooh, judgment, comparison, criticism, all those little monsters are going to come in. And I don't want them there. I want to be soul to soul communication. I want to be heart to heart communication. I want to give my very all from the level of divinity. Like, I'm holding the space. I'm here for you to listen, which is the most amazing thing I love to do, to feel, to sense, and to be in holy matrimony at the same time with you, the client, and with God, who's the source. And I'm in between, uniting all of us together. And it's really a sacred bond for me.
Yeah, I love this. I love this so much because what I can say is that, and what I see in many great people such as you is that, you know, you have that in a one-to-one relationship, but then it actually becomes part of your life and it can be felt. Yeah, it's not just something you live on one side, it becomes part of your life.
Yes, I know what you mean.
And I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Julia. Like we learn so many things, all of us who are on this journey of evolution and growth. And I learned this, but when I learned it, I already was doing it. And it's this thing of being a person of increase. This is how it was called by Mary Morrissey. Always, I remember even from being a little girl, and there are some people who have it, some people don't have it. Either way, it's not a problem, it's not an issue. But I love to say, hi, how are you? What's your name? I'm Kathy. I would love to bring a communication, a flow with the other. And I remember, like, when I was a little kid, from the things that I remember, my mom was, no, we don't do that. No, you're not supposed to. No. And like, it came natural to me, but and now that I'm an adult and as I remember my years, I continue to do it. And when people are around me, I don't know if it's happened when we were together in person, but when I'm like at a coffee shop or going out for a dinner or a lunch, I ask the waiter, "What's your name?" Like, I want to know, what's your name?
Yeah.
And then I want to address him by his name or her name, not just to address him, because you're here to service me. So I want to honor you by making you feel seen. Even and that also goes if I'm not somewhere where I'm staying for a long time, even if it's the cashier lady at the checkout center at the supermarket, where it's like less than a minute maybe to take one thing and leave, or a little store, I will notice her name if she's wearing a name tag and I will use it, or I will give her a compliment.
Mm.
Your hair is beautiful today, or your nails are beautiful, or you're wearing a beautiful ring. Like, I love to do this. I love to do this. And
I'm a human with another human.
exactly,
No, this is what I hear from you. Like there's no status, no comparison, no
nothing,
nothing.
because it all comes down to uh we come from the same source. Like, I love to hear it from different teachers, like God shot us like a ray of light. Hup, and I became Kathy, you became Julia, the other person became Elena, and so on and so forth. Like, we are an extension of the divine, or if that's too much for some people, we are an extension of life itself. This is something that when I remind myself and stay in this frequency, oh, life is so different. Of course I have my struggles, of course I have my limitations, of course I have my share of things, challenges that will come and that will continue to be. I'm waiting for them, I'm expecting them, because if they don't come, I'm not going to grow, and neither will you. But in the midst of this dance, as Homaya says it, who can I be? Every day, only today, because every day is a gift. Like, I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Like, we're having this amazing conversation today. Tomorrow is unwritten, unknown, unseen, and who knows? But in the now, can I be me? Can I be with an open heart? Can um, I have a beautiful view, by the way. That's why I keep looking outside.
And I thought so many times, what can we do? And I think the only thing that we can really do is be this example. And I think you are the best example. And honestly, every time I think of you, I think of someone, like you took your heart out and you're walking with it and you're completely unguarded, unprotected. It's another thing if you can share with whoever is listening. I think it's the biggest challenge of humanity and the biggest gift to open the heart.
Yes. Hmm. I'll go back just a little notch. I think it was recently, I was, doesn't matter. I was hearing something and it dawned on me that I realized within me that we were given the gift of life and we were brought here on earth. Earth is what is abundant. Earth is what we're called to have a relationship with, to see its beauty, to see its glory, to see how rich and affluent and ever living it and expressing it is. Now, on the other hand, we have this thing called world. So the world is, as I see it, right, from all the teachers, how it's landed in me, the world is connected with perception, how we see things. So from a soul level, and when living a soul-led life, we live in the world exists, but we're called every day to connect and to be in communion with the planet, with the earth, with what God gifted us. So if it's true, and we are rays of light that have come to experience life in this world, it's our option. We have the option to choose what we're going to be seeing. Because I remember the years I was working in Citibank, I was working my ass off. I wanted to become a branch manager. I would see what I didn't have, what I didn't get, what I wasn't complimented for or rewarded for. I would see lack, that's the things we call lack, scarcity, limitation, and I would be 100% in separation. Like it was me and the world for the, say, my small world, which was Citibank and my managers and blah, 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 was against me. I was giving my 100%. Why aren't you giving me back? Like I would feel in separation. So that time, I wasn't the same Kathy you got to know because I was closed. I had to protect myself from all these people who just wanted me to work my butt off and not pay me for it, not reward me for it, not give me my promotions for it. So now, years later, we live in a world, and now the world we could say chaos, right? Like, and this is going to continue because we are called to remember that in this thing called world, for it to change, to shift, we need to shift ourselves and the way we see things and with what we connect. This is how I see. I don't know if this makes sense, if you feel what I'm sharing beneath the words, and if you want to add to it.
Yeah, so I hear perception, but I hear also choice, actually,
Yeah.
like if I keep blaming and separating myself from everything else, then I can never be a sovereign being and choose my life and take responsibility for my life and open my heart and be able to feel all those feelings when I grow.
Hmm. All this conversation can go so deep, and
Yeah.
because I've been sitting with myself to go deeper and to integrate it, and see where I am now in this journey between, yes, there is the world, but there is me, and I'm part of this bigger thing called life, and how I'm called to be in it. Um,
And earlier you talked about I don't remember exactly the name that you have given to it, from Mary Morrissey, the program. How do you call it? The
program itself,
Yeah, your
thinking program, the Dream Builder program, conscious creation.
conscious creation. Because if I'm not this sovereign being, then, and I'm gonna link it to everything you said about supreme destiny, and I think also what's happening, and it's normal, we live in a society and we think we should do this and that and the other, instead of just focusing on our path, knowing that it's an unknown path,
Exactly.
but we need to create it as we walk it.
It is. This was my major this is what I felt in the year that I worked with in close proximity with Homaya, that I have to make one more big decision right now. And if me living my life in what we call, and we know what we mean when we say it, in a soul-led way, but let me put it in a easier way for those listeners who don't know what this means exactly yet. So I'll say living it from my heart,
Yeah.
and not from my mind. This was, and in the doing so, I want to add here, I have to be in full force, in full connection with my faith and my trust that God has my back all the way. This was the thing that Homaya helped me with. I did know it, but I didn't believe it. And there's still times now that I say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I have to go because my mind sin. And if I may just give a small practice, which will be useful to everyone. When you hear, I like to refer to the voice. So the voice of inner wisdom of our higher consciousness or our higher self. I call it the voice, but then there's that little sneaky voice, which is the voice of the mind or the ego or the fear. Okay. So
Yeah.
when that one, and I also call it the black feathered angel. So they're both angels. They both love us, but one wants us to have us contained in the known. Okay. And the other wants us to shine and go big and live the life we're meant to live here. So when this sneaky, and this is a practice, guys, when this sneaky voice comes in and you hear it, we hear it, like it gives us its shit, if excuse me, we take a breath and we reply to it and we say, not so. We have to stop it there. It's not so. It will tell you what it wants to tell you because it's its job to keep you small, to keep you contained, to keep you hidden. Exactly. That's the confusion or that's the illusion. And then our job is to remind ourselves, take a breath, go to your heart, connect with your inner perception that I am I am safe, and with faith and trust, all my needs are going to be met. By whom? By God, source, spirit, universe, because this is life. Life is here for us. It's not against us.
Yeah.
But we keep forgetting, and because we're in with one foot in the separation, in the limitation, in the struggle, and in the that the mind gives us, and the other foot is hearing the voice, the white feathered angel say, there's so much for you out there. You can do this. You're here. You came to do this. Or even it doesn't mean like a mission doesn't need to be a big mission. For some of us, it may be, for me, it feels big, mine, but it may be a simple mission to be a loving and caring presence in someone else's life. That's also a mission.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes I've been in containers and in situations like everybody's looking, what's my calling? What's my mission? What is it? It can be just to be who you are every day. And you can be a simple person fixing coffees. Like, have you ever, I'm trying to cut down on coffee, but have you ever been somewhere where you've asked for a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or anything, and this person is like, and I don't have a cup, here you go, and it's €3.
Is this gratitude for
Mhm.
what I already have. When I'm at that level, I can actually perceive, to use another word you used,
Mhm.
this is good enough, but
Yes,
not from the limitation or scarcity or whatever. It's,
yes,
wow, this is good enough, and maybe this is what I'm meant to be doing, you know?
yes, yes. We have to remind ourselves that in the now, in the present moment, as we are, it's the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're moving into the next, which is going to be even better, even better, even better. We have to expect it from ourselves. meaning that it doesn't need to be, I must, I must, I must. No, it's the way how we will evolve, how we will transform, how we will expand, how we will grow. It's yeah.
Yeah, and it's also about coming back to yourself when you're in a space and everyone wants to make millions or whatever, maybe they all want to become engineers, but that's not your calling,
Mm-hmm.
then something inside of you will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you listen to that little voice, the true path opens.
Oh, I'm definitely, definitely, and to walk on it hand in hand with fear, because fear is an illusion, and it's just the next. Homaya calls it edge. It's the next, yeah, curve,
Yeah.
next point where you just pull yourself there, and then from there you go a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I want to do this and that. And then you pull back the fear.
Yeah, keeps
Yeah.
not easy. I've taken myself sometimes too much on the edge, and that's why right now it's this period of my life where I'm slowing down. So far, I've made it because always God has my back. I can say that, and I'm absolutely grateful. But sometimes doing it over and over again comes with a cost, like an over a burnout, a like, or maybe the body will take the faults, the
Yeah.
load. So, but this is it. We're as we're living, as we're evolving, we're from the steps we're doing, we're I don't like to say figuring it out, but that's sort of what we're doing. That's sort of what we're doing. So yeah, one more thing is very, very important, that we have to all the time, the time remind ourselves that as we think, as we believe, we shall be given. So it's very important
Mm.
shift to shift it. Like if what comes, if this voice, the black feathered angel, the mind tells us something which we know it's fear and it's not true, we need to replace it. That's why we say not so. We need immediately, because if it takes hold on us, what will happen is the field will give us exactly that reflection, what we're afraid of, what we don't want. This has happened to me again and again. And although I know the game, sometimes I fall into the trap, and then I say, no, I created this. This is what I want. Like, no, it's
I wanted to ask you.
um okay, so the not so, remember, we say not so, but we have to give it an alternate belief. So we stop the mind giving us what it wants, not so, not so. And then it can be like, I've written something that I recently heard from a class that I've taken, and it's amazing. And I want to share it with you, which is amazing. Uh, and I have to say that it's said by Michael Beckwith. I don't know if you know him, but he's also from the US. He has this, I think it's in Los Angeles, an institute which is called the Agape Center, and one of my little dreams is to go there and do volunteer work one day. But he said, I was in a pre-recorded course, and he said, all that I am is the manifestation of all that there is, which is the presence that is never in absence. So this is something like an affirmation. Like, I wrote it because I wanted to memorize it and I couldn't. So what I do is, when sometimes I have it for about a week now, sometime, and I always, by the way, have a notepad with me. I do it, like, keep notes. This is so helpful. Uh, because you never know where you are going to be when something knocks on your door and you're not ready. You want to kind of help yourself. This is another thing I want to share that has helped me. like what happens is if I am somewhere where I don't have a big purse and I can't have my notebook with me, in my wallet, I'm looking where my wallet is. I have small reflex cards. I don't know if you know them. They're cards that
Yeah.
are cardboard and have lines. And on there, I have these types of, I'll call them affirmations, or you can call them activations, or things where in the moment I just open my wallet, I take it out, I literally do this. Like, because things happen to us and they take us down. If I'm not ready and it takes me down, it's not that I'm going to go like 100 steps back, but I'm going to go back. And then I have to build the resilience. I have to build myself up and take myself up and out of it and go forth again. It's okay. This is a journey, but so for some reason, I want to read this again. Can I?
Yes, of course.
All that I am is the manifestation of all that there is, which is the presence that is never in absence, which is the presence breathing me. Like, this is how I receive it. The presence breathing me is always here. Life is always present, emanating itself. We are life, but we have to remember that we are part of this life. And as this life, it will continue to be even when we're not here, right? But while we're here, how can we be? And should we remember that this is a magnificent co-creation and coexistence and oh yeah, I'm getting
I
chilly.
love we this conversation is so rich, and I want to thank you for it. I'm so grateful for it.
Mhm.
By these kinds of conversations into taking the next step, which can be I'm going to book a session with Kathy, with Julia, with someone else. It doesn't matter.
One thing that I've learned from all the teachers so far, and I truly believe, is we need to make moves. We need to take steps. And I've worked with several people, but I've also communicated with people who procrastinate and do exactly what you say. They may have it on their to-do list or in their mind, but they don't do the thing. I think and I know you've heard this, the most important thing is to find and connect with one's why. Why am I here? Why do I want to have a better life? Why do I believe I'm in a mission? Like, there is a why inside of each and every one of us. So, why do I want to make myself be in a better, healthier body, which is what I'm going through the past 2 years? Like, in everything that I'm experiencing, I have challenges with my health, with my body. The body is speaking to me and trying to get me somewhere where I am moving towards, but it's giving me its own lessons. So I have to go back within and ask, why do I want to feel healthy, fit, sexy, stable in my body? And I'll use it as an example because for me, after like 2 year, and I'm still on it, deep dive, I knew, but now I know I knew, but now I know that the body is the temple of my soul. So if I am here and my mission is to serve those who will be drawn to me, to help them come back online and remember the truth of who they are, I need to become a stable portal of light. Or if you don't like this expression, I need to be a stable portal for light to come through me. Or even if this doesn't work for any of the listeners, I'll keep continuing to use the stable portal of infinite intelligence to move through me so I can pour it on and share it and give it and to the person who will work with me. And my lessons these past 2 years is more light, Kathy, stronger body. Keep going, because I'm still not there. Like,
I love it.
so the why. So now we have 4 quadrants in life. It's health, it is relationships, it is vocation or job, and time and money freedom. In all these years that I've been on this journey, I see, and tell me if it's also true for you, that one of the quadrant, thank you, is the most alive in seasons of our life.
Yeah, definitely.
So for the past 2 years, and that, what does that mean? And I'm like sharing it because this is how I share it as a teacher too. The other quadrants are in a bit better place, because the one that needs our full attention and our full devotion and us to be disciplined there is the one that's rocking, like shaking, the carpet is moving. So this is what I'm going through. So in that quadrant, I'm looking for my why. Why do I have to have a healthy body? Or why is my body giving me all this shit? Again, I'll say the word.
Yeah.
Because it takes me back to connect me with what I'm here to bring forth. So it's an integral part, I think the word is a very important, a significant part of my journey. See how it
sense, like show me the bigger why.
Exactly. Deep diving, digging.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, thank you so much, Kathy.
Julia, thank you. I love this conversation.
Like, how can they work with you?
Okay. Thank you for this question. Recently, I created a small container, a very small, intimate 2-hour process. If someone just wants to have an interaction with me without needing to go in deep. So this is something I call Soul Compass. As I said, it's a 2-hour immersion. We enter the room just to for me to feel and receive where the person is in the now, what it is that is on his mind, or what can be the challenge or the trigger, or maybe he can be or she can be on a crossroad and like, okay. And then after we have this conversation or this exchange, or we go deep, like bring everything out in the open, I call in and see from what I have, from the knowledge, the practices, the tools, how I can be of service to do what? To clear the field, the energetic field, the aura, if you may, of this person. Something is blocking him. So I will sense into that. Maybe I'll do a meditation. Maybe I'll do an activation. Maybe I'll do a healing session. Maybe I'll do a vortex energizing. Like, I have several tools. I will decide in the moment, or maybe we'll co-decide together. And after that, we will call in guidance of what this person's next step will be. So this is a small container. It's at 133 euro. We're not, I don't need to share. I just said that, but it doesn't matter. So this is Soul Compass, okay? This is a very small, intimate container. For sure, you will be blessed with moving forward. Then one of my favorite ones is Rapid Transformational Therapy. This is a 1-month container. It has 3 sessions. Because the first session is, again, an exchange on Zoom for me to get to know you, to get to see what your issue is, for us to decide what we're focusing our attention on. What is it that you want from me? How I can serve you?
Yeah.
Which scenes, this is the amazing thing about RTT, your subconscious mind will shoot up in your actual mind, and we will, I help you to bring them forth and voice them, which scenes from your past, and it could even be from a previous life, but if you don't want to go there, it won't go there. It could be even from when you're in your mom's womb, at any age till the point that in time that you're now, which scenes it's ready to see. And from there, we try, well, our job is together. Well, actually, my job is to make the client see what is the root cause from all the scenes. So we go back to 3 scenes, we find the root cause, and then the method has certain ways where we reframe
I love it.
what came up. And it ends in a session, which is 21 days after the session of the RTT, because in those 21 days, the client has to listen to a personalized recording that I have created for him or her, which is what they use in order to change the imprints of the previous limiting beliefs that we find.
Yeah, it's like an integration method.
Exactly. So this is a 30-day experience, and then so this is like a step-to-step process if someone wants to experience each window. And then the next thing is that I do the transformational coaching program, which is from the Brave Thinking Institute. We can also call it conscious creation, where again we set an intention. What do you want to create specifically? Like,
Yeah.
would love to create 1,000 things at a time, but it doesn't work like that.
No.
Put an intention.
Focus.
Focus. Like one of my recent clients, she wants to bring in the love of her life. So she has relationships, but she wants to land with that person who in her mind, not in her mind, in her soul, in her heart, in her vision, she already knows exactly how this person is. But for some reason, the universe keeps sending her those other types of men. So there's a whole method how we work this. And the same program can be done in 3 months, 6 months, or a year, depending on how intensely the client wants me in his life. So the more we are, so it's both things matter. And then finally, the love of my life is having conversations that, like the one we had today, around spirituality, around the deeper meaning of life. I noticed that a lot of people don't want to go there. Like most of my clients right now are in the first 3 options.
Mhm.
So someone that wants to decide to enter a conversation about spirituality has to already have opened the door and stepped into this field. And
Yeah, and I feel called to say something there because what I had also as people coming in was I see what's happening, I'm seeing spirituality. How do I want to tell the world about it? How do I tell people around me about it? And what I always say, it's of course a personal opinion, but I tell them, hey, focus on yourself, focus on you understanding what this means for you first, because then you will start living it and people will ask you about it, but it's not going to work the other
yeah,
way around. Like,
no, I know, I know. So this is it. And yeah, I love being of service. So thank you, Julia, for this conversation today.
thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you. It has been lovely.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us until this point. And remember, keep trusting and believing that this power breathing you is here to walk with you, support you, and move you into creating a beautiful life.
Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you, Julia. till we meet again. Much love to you.
Much love.